Good morning, everybody. We have a slightly different race course today for this one. We are told that it is inside the harbour due to the conditions, and there are four 4 kilometre laps to make 16 kilometres. The race start is delayed. We are waiting for the call from the race organisers, and we have our cameras monitoring the start line and the loading area. As soon as we know anything, we'll come back to you. And here's our competitors in this race today. From Brazil, we have Rieng Nagasako, Shanti Pospisil from Niue, Sarah Jason from Australia, Lynn Milos from USA, Anne Cairns from Samoa, Fernanda de Beluco from Chile, Hedia Rolliston from New Zealand, Helen Rudd from Great Britain, Joanne Reiha from Fiji, Serafino from Tonga, Kristen Foster from Hawaii, Laura Bursey from Germany, Rose Mel Teri from New Caledonia, Marguerite Noho Temayana from Tahiti, Rachel Matapuku Walker from Cook Islands, Alexandra Ver Morel from France, Silvana Carcetti from Argentina, and Leanne Stanley from Canada. Once again, we have heard the race course is now 4 kilometre laps. Slightly outside, a little bit of downwind, and then heading back inside the harbour. And this is for the safety of the paddlers. As soon as we see a launch, we will come back to you. Thank you for tuning in. Just to let you all know, we are back. The paddlers are heading out for the start of this V1 Master Woman 40 race. And our competitors in today's race, we have Rie Nagasako from Brazil, Shanti Pospisil from Niue, Sarah Jason from Australia, Lynn Milos from USA, and Ken from Samoa, Fernanda Luco Daiba from Chile, Hidia Rolliston from New Zealand, Helen Rudd from Great Britain, Joanne Reha from Fiji, Serafino from Tonga, Kristen Foster from Hawaii, Laura Bursey from Germany, Roselle Terii from New Caledonia, Marguerite Noho Te Maiana from Tahiti, Rachel Matapuku Walker from the Cook Islands, Alexandra Morel from France, Silvana Carcetti from Argentina, Leanne Stanley from Canada. And the last we heard from the race organizers is they are doing a adjusted course, 4x4 kilometer laps, 16 kilometers total. And these ladies are floating up to the start line pretty quickly. I am here today with Carl Barnes from New Zealand. Carl, talk to us a little bit about the conditions out there on the Monday and how it was paddling.
Yesterday, we saw some pretty big groundswell coming through on Monday. I know for us there was a lot of wind swell driving off the top, but yesterday we saw some real powerful groundswell coming through that I guess took a toll on some waka out there. So, put it out there to the organisers having to try to make things work to keep everybody getting out on the course. So, big aloha and love out there to everyone behind the scenes, and my man Kingy here dealing with everything that's different behind the camera. So, yeah, it's been some big conditions. So we as far as we understand at the moment, it's 4 kilometer laps within, but if it changes, we roll as you roll. So yeah, I just pass back to Kingy, but yeah, definitely some good wind, some good conditions out there, and yeah, big love to everyone on the course and back home in Aotearoa.
Thank you. That was the voice of Carl Barnes here from New Zealand, now a world champion in the Master Men 40s. And we have a race start at any time. V1 Master Women 40. We have a few athletes who competed in the Open Women. I believe Ann Cairns and Margaret from Tahiti. Oh, we have a start. We have a start in the V1 Master Women 40. We can see the red top from Tahiti there, Marguerite. We are a little far away at the moment, but as soon as we get the numbers, we will update you. And it's at number 14. Rosmel Teddy from New Caledonia. And on the inside here, that looks like Anne Cairns from Samoa. Number 3 is Australia, Sarah Jason. And that's Marguerite from Tahiti, and number 16. And the weather has turned it on now. A beautiful sunny day here in Samoa. So Carl, just give us a little preview of what's to come. The harbour's nice and flat, but as soon as you hit the rock wall, what happens?
I guess, yeah, once you hit that rock wall, you really start to feel that wind chop starting to build. And then that, I know for us, in that first marker, the red marker turning, you start to feel it come direct head on to you as the trade wind tracks down the coast. So then it's a matter of just keeping strong and connected as you're tracking up to that top turn. So yeah, these ladies, yeah, at the moment the water's pretty clean. Everybody's traveling really well, but I guess we see where that first turning marker is, and then she goes from there. So yeah, it's definitely the wind. It's quite deceptive when you're looking at it at the moment. It looks still within the harbour, but you come out from that wharf and it's in your face. Pop out from that reef, and then it's game time. So yeah, ladies looking strong at the moment. Field nice and spread, and no sort of clashing going out there. So kind of looks on the inside there. Looks like Annie Ken's just got a nice line coming up to the wharf, and yeah, everybody tracking, looking strong and connected. I guess it's that real hard thing, is it's not a 500-meter race. It's a 16K. So this is the beginning of the red zone. So it's a long time out in the red. So yeah, here we go around the point, and I'll pass you back to my man Kingy.
Thank you, Carl. Looks like Marguerite here and Anne, they may be establishing themselves as the leaders in this race, and some very important comments there from Carl. This is not a 500-meter sprint. However, you still will find the red zone pretty quickly, and it's about how far you want to tap into that red zone and for how long. And it might be a lady from Canada there in third, Leanne Stanley. So we would call this provisional placings as Anne Cairns in 1, very closely followed by Marguerite from Tahiti in 2, and then Canada in 3. But here we go, maybe Marguerite is in first. This will be an interesting battle. And an interesting point here today, important to mention, is we have Carl Barnes' partner is also Anne, who's paddling there in canoe number 5. So Carl, give us a bit of insight into the preparation that Anne has, the preparation work that Anne has put into coming to this event.
I guess there's all the background that everybody that gets to this level is doing the work. They're putting the mahi in twice a day. Some people juggling family life, work. Everyone's juggling. No one out there's paying their house off from paddling wa'a. So yeah, and he works fire service in Palmerston North, fits her training in and around, and then yeah, tracks back up home to put up with me in New Zealand. Yeah, her background, she comes from whitewater canoeing, rafting, and flat water as well. So the build up into this, it's a challenge for her. V1's not her bread and butter. So yeah, she's been working really hard under the tutelage of Gav Elmiger back in New Zealand, who's produced many champion paddlers. So big shout out to Gav back home in NZ. But yeah, what we know is that there can be difficult conditions out there, and Annie just be feeling it out. But it's definitely an interesting situation to sit here and watch and commentate. But yeah, we're seeing at the moment that ladies are starting to stretch out just a little bit on the field. But I guess it's that real feel out stage where you're just trying to read the water, read how you're feeling, how many matches you want to burn upwind before you hit that marker and start to plow down. But what we're looking at the moment, definitely, I guess, kind of looks like, yeah, they're inside the reef. So these ladies might be a change of course that we haven't been updated on as yet. Perhaps it is back to the original, up to the top marker and back down. So yeah, we let you know when we know. At the moment, it definitely looks like it's not inside the reef. So we're tracking up to top turn, and we see Leanne Stanley there. I'm pretty sure that's in the orange. Annie Cairns there, and yeah, she's in the blue singlet there. And then our Tahitian lady tracking there, just in third, maybe slipping into that little bit of V-wash coming between Annie and Leanne. So Yep, tracking in. You can see those bumps just starting to lift. A little bit of white capping now. So ladies working hard, working hard. But I guess the preparation that we all know is that we all juggling. We're all trying to fit quality time in for our training, but we also chuck the big love out to all our families. That mean that the people behind the scenes making the sacrifice so that we can get out there and chase the fun. Big shout out I definitely know within our boys, within the New Zealand Master 40s crew, that we got some awesome family support behind us. So big shout out to those back, and I'll pass back to King. Definitely looks like we're turning on that red marker, so when we know, we'll let you know for sure what's happening. But here we go, starting to definitely track, and looking at the line of that support boat, lead boat out in front. We may be on a course heading where that red marker was first turn, and then we start tracking down into the bump. So I'm gonna throw you back to my man Kingy. He can give you the insight on how they're surfing, because this fella, he just likes going in a straight line, and I don't really know what I'm talking about.
Thank you, Carl. Just confirming that it was the short course. That is definitely a buoy you don't want to mess with. That one is not going to float if you hit it. And also want the athletes to be careful as they go around this buoy. Post? But clean so far. And we might be able to see which course these top crew athletes are taking. We have an interview with Paul lined up. Hold on a second. And certainly very patient there with these big swells rolling in. Very smart move, calm and collected. This is a long race. And she has extended quite a lead here. She'll be very happy with that. She may get 4 more goes at this, but that is some quite decent swell coming in. And lovely, we can see the varied water out there. There's a little ripple on the surface and a bigger ground swell coming in. And Annie is surfing nicely. We have a little look here at Leanne Stanley from Canada, with Marguerite from Tahiti. Yeah, this is all conditions. So we have side winds from both sides. You'll have the groundswell from both sides and headwind and downwind. So challenging course, you could pretty much say that you have to have all your wits about you. And so we will see the world champion emerge as all of these conditions unfold.
Yeah, I guess what we're seeing here on the screen is there's some really nice surface texture out there for these ladies. There's the big groundswell rolling through, but just watching when that camera zooms in a little bit, we see that nice little wind, bit of surface texture. Some of those ladies have worked really well. So yeah, tough conditions and challenging, but awesome to see these ladies out there throwing it down. So. And we got Marguerite there on screen, just stretching out, feeling her way through. Definitely a nice shot there. We're starting to see a bit of stretch in that field, but what we all know is that this is, first, we've had it confirmed, first of four laps. So yeah, it's gonna be a long day out in the arena for these ladies. That sun's beaming down here at the moment. She's hot, she's humid in Samoa, so it's gonna take its toll. And everyone's gonna have to drink and eat, and she's a long way to go yet.
Looks to us like a big battle unfolding for the top three there. Leanne Stanley from Canada, Annie Cairns from Samoa, and Marguerite Noho Te Maiana from Tahiti. We'll see what unfolds over this next 20 minutes or so. We'll just recap some of our participants in this race. From Brazil, we have Rie Nagasako. From Niue, Shanti Pospisil. From Australia, Sarah Jason. From the USA, Lynn Milos. From Samoa, Anne Cairns. From Chile, Fernanda Daiber Luco. From New Zealand, Hedia Rolliston. From Great Britain, Helen Rudd. From Fiji, Joanne Reiha. From Tonga, Serafino. From Hawaii, Kirsten Foster. From Germany, Laura Bursi. From New Caledonia, Rosmerelle Teri. From Tahiti, Marguerite Noho. From Cook Islands, Rachel Matapuku Walker. From France, Alexandra Vermorel. From Argentina, Silvana Carasetti. From Canada, Leanne Stanley. And it looks like Anne is still in the lead with a battle here with Tahiti, with Marguerite. And we are almost 4 kilometers in, a quarter of the way through this race. It's interesting, this part of the race here, the swell is a little more organized, and it's easy to see when to push. In the big swells, it certainly changes your approach. And there might be a change here. We will see. Marguerite has taken a little bit more of an inside line. Leanne is cruising. Oh, apologies. Anne is cruising right there. And I guess getting the direction of your nose on these swells is really important. You want to try and stay on them for as long as possible. We saw yesterday Manutea Mion just demonstrating a clinic for us all on surfing this, but it looks like Margarita's on a good one here, and that might take her ahead a little bit. Oh no, here comes Anne, one underneath, building. I tell you what, this finish, if they keep this up, this last lap is going to be incredible to watch. They will be hammering these last little swells as they come in. And here's our competitor from Fiji, Joanne. And behind her is our competitor from Australia, Sarah Jason. Well done, ladies. We have many countries represented in this race. Brazil, Niue, Australia, USA, Samoa, Chile, New Zealand, Great Britain, Fiji, Tonga, Hawaii, Germany, New Caledonia, Peru, Tahiti, Cook Islands, France, Argentina, and Canada. I think we have only one country missing. Yes, Hawaii. So of the 23 countries represented here, we have 22 within this race. And looking long and strong here is Anne. So, Carl, talk to us a little bit about the conditions that Anne may train in New Zealand and how that might advantage or disadvantage her for this race.
I suppose it's for Annie when she's working in Palmerston North, like she travels 4 hours from home in New Plymouth with me down to Palmerston North, and when she's based there, she's on a small duck pond lagoon that's 800 meters around. So some of those sessions when you're 2 to 2.5 hours, that's a whole lot of laps. It's flat, a lot of turns. So yeah, it's definitely a little bit different to this. We're pretty blessed in Namotu, New Plymouth, back in Taranaki in New Zealand, Aotearoa, that we do get a lot of ground swell and a lot of wind swell. So I know in the build up to this, she's been out in her va'a, her whaosanga va'a, trying to get a feel for what it's like when nature's taking it to you in that va'a. And I just big respect to everyone that paddles V1. I'm definitely just an OC fella that likes to grind, but man, you hop out in that wind, and there's times where I can give you a bit of background. I guess Annie's come home and it's a tough day at the office. Everyone that paddles V1 has those sessions where you're like, man, you want to break your paddle or you want to run over your va'a because it can destroy you. It's challenging. So yeah, Annie's background, I guess she's on the path, on the journey to learn. So it's pretty awesome to see her out there trading with Marguerite and going at it. But yeah, that's been a pretty good first lap. Marguerite there looks like she's picked up some nice lines, some nice texture bumps. Annie looking nice and strong, stretching out. So yeah, skills wise in New Zealand, va'a, it's va'a life for both of us. We love getting out in the arena and testing ourselves, but it's the time getting to sit in a booth next to my man Kingy here and share time, share story. That's va'a life, which is, that's sweet, that's special. So yeah, it looks like they're coming back into that start finish buoy now, and Marguerite just took a nice clean line and surfing a bit of that texture swell. And yeah, we keep you informed. We see what you see. So yeah, ladies looking strong and clean.
Let's go Team Samoa. It's a gold medal opportunity for Samoa here with Anne. And we have some messages of support from around the world. From Ita Mata Lomani. Big cheers from up North Pacific. Joanne Reiha. Ike from Majuro. Apologies if I pronounce that incorrectly. We have a close battle here. Marguerite from Tahiti and from Samoa. In third place is Canada. And there's been a lot of lines. I noticed Marguerite took an inside line on that coming down there, and it looked like she made a bit of ground. Anne was outside there, almost touching the reef, but she took a wide turn, and now she's on the inside line. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out between these two athletes. And she is right back in the action here. So very different approach to racing on this loop circuit as opposed to going out and surfing. Your harbor lines, currents, flow probably have a lot more influence on the outcome of the race as opposed to your surfing ability. Any thoughts on that, Carl?
Yeah, I guess what we're seeing here at the moment, and from being out there and having the awesome opportunity to paddle in this beautiful place in Samoa, is that there's currents, there's channels, and you're also trying to read what's happening with the boat, like motorboat traffic out there. If you can see a ripple and it's coming your way, maybe burn a few matches and try to make the most out of that. And we saw Marguerite with maybe a slightly tighter line coming into the turn, and he's sitting wider and just picked up, as our man Jono Allsop back in New Zealand would say, some nice texture. Work that texture to come around the corner and close the gap. Just trying to pick up a number on number 14 here. Really looking strong, working that bump coming into the turn. So yeah, it's interesting. We're all trying to get out on the course and learn as much about the channels and the waterways, and the organisers trying to keep the boats on the water. But at the moment, we see Marguerite just with clear water. We definitely, we just had a question come through on the screen. Is the ocean more calm than yesterday? Yeah, for sure. What we probably seen is that the ground swell that was driving yesterday's maybe not driving as strong, but the wind swell, that little bit of texture that you're seeing off the top there, that's all there from yesterday. And we just see one of the wahine here really throwing it down, making the best of that little run. It's hard to pick up, but she's working hard.
And a battle within a battle, third and fourth. Leanne Stanley from Canada. We cannot identify the other paddler in grey. As soon as we know, we'll get back to you, but it looks like very close competition here for the bronze placement. Lovely images here from Apia as our ladies around the bottom buoy, and they head back out for their next lap. They are 4 kilometers in. Pretty fast actually, I must say, that 4 kilometers within about 20 minutes. That's a blazing speed from these ladies. We are crossing live now to Paul. Thank you very much, Paul. We were just discussing some speeds here in the studio, what kind of speeds these ladies are doing. Into the wind, we know the top men may do about 8 to 9K an hour, which would be in 1 hour, about an 8K paddle or a 9K paddle. Some of the ladies downwind may hit 10, 11, possibly 12s on the surf. But upwind, Carl Barnes, any thoughts on what speeds they might be doing?
Yeah, I guess it's one of those things. There's your perception of how fast you're going, and then there's what Garmin tells you how fast you're going. So you might be tracking upwind and working really hard and against current. Sometimes you look down at your watch and it can be pretty soul destroying when you see those numbers. So it's hard for us to get a gauge at the moment, but as we understand, it's a 4-kilometer loop, and the ladies there push that out and around about that 20-minute mark. So some really good times. And I guess when we turn and dial into that little bit of downwind leg there, some of those bumps, yeah, you can be pushing up 18, a really nice run up over 20k an hour. And that's where we might see, if we're doing the shot, Marguerite or Annie or any of the ladies reach down, grab that drinks tube and try to get some water on, grab a bit of food and keep going. But these two ladies out the front have definitely created a gap, stretching that field out. You can see the third paddle there just coming around the wharf. So gonna be interesting times. We turn into the downwind again, and ladies get into rodeo zone and start chasing those bumps.
Like to acknowledge all our supporters from around the world leaving your comments on this live stream. Thank you. The whānau of Shanti Pospisil here from Niue, supporting our girl. Go Shanti. And Andrea supporting Rie from Brazil. And we have some support here for Helen Rudd from Great Britain. Strong upwind leak here from Anne. This battle is going on and on. What's going to happen towards the end of this race, we're not sure. We think we're going to see these two battle it out the whole way. I guess they'll be wondering how long they can keep this body of theirs in the red zone for. Maybe they can make a little break to release the pressure. But there's always that nervous moment when you make a break and you're in front and you're afraid. What has this paddler behind me got left in the tank, and can I match them? What happens if they start to burn their matches and go, and then I ask my body to go and I haven't got anything left? I guess that's racing. I guess that's the joy of it. If you're up there, Carl, got any stories or experiences? How might you approach a race like this?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, support what my brother Kingy's saying there. I know for us anyway in the 6-man race Monday, it was about trying to be controlled and calm, but it's pretty much controlled suffering. You're trying to pick when you're going to burn those matches and make the most out of them. For us, man, you got to chuck huge props out to the Brazilians. They came back hard on us in the final downwind leg, and we were, I guess, blessed, for lack of better words, to pick up a bump on the final turn and hold that, and the boys went into the beyond zone where you're empty, but everybody's just trying to keep pressure on the blade. But we see at the moment, yeah, these ladies are trading. Annie definitely looking nice and long and connected, but that's what we see on the screen. But I guess what we all know when you're out there in the VAR, you're breathing, everything's hurting, so it's just one stroke at a time and reaching out and tracking on that next spot.
And he has pulled a little bit in front here. This lead has changed about 3 times. Very different approaches and technique. And he's a little bit slower and longer. It's very close. We will see what happens at this turning buoy. Yeah, we'll watch this turn closely. And Anne's managed to get her canoe round. Patient. Marguerite too. Here's our surf leg. We'll see if we can cross the pool for some insights on the swell and how the athletes are handling this part of the race. Annie's surfing very nicely here. The connection to pool was a little bit rugged. Sorry about that. But we can see Annie being very patient and calm on these nice long open ocean swells. Just really important where you point your nose on these big swells. Oh, these ladies will be great buddies once they get off the water. They've been stuck together for 37 minutes now. So they should be halfway in about 40 minutes, which makes it an hour 20 race in total. That's a good amount of time out there. We'll see for little things like bailing will have a big impact, keeping your canoe dry, catching every little bump. We can see some nice swells here for them to catch. It is pretty hard when you're out there and the the canoe wants to go one way and you really want it to go the other way, and you have to just press so hard and deep. It can be very fatiguing in the V1. And all that time and all those hours and all that experience has a big impact on your ability to do some kind of crazy moves. And then you see guys like Manutia Millon just making it look so easy. It makes you wonder why you even started paddling. And same here today for our two top master women 40s athletes. Are being very tactical where they put their nose, how far they pull their stroke back, and what they're aiming for. But it's a neck to neck here, Carl, between Anne and Marguerite. What do you think's going through their heads right now?
It's always a dangerous thing when a male tries to comment on what may be going through a female's head, but I'd take a punt on what it's like when you're in that race zone. Sometimes you pop that little bump and things flow and you're feeling good, but when you get out the front, it's actually an interesting feeling. You actually feel like you're being hunted, like you're prey for the person behind you. So I know at the moment, both these ladies, they be trading, they're reading that water and trying to pick their moments, and every time you get that little bump, you feel a little raise, a little high, and then the next feeling you feel is like someone's trying to hunt you down and eat you. So I'll take a punt at the moment. Annie, she's looking out the corner of her eye, but trying to just stay focused on what's happening in her boat, because ultimately you can only control what you can control. So I know that's one thing. She's a strong wahine upstairs. So at the moment, physically they'll be hurting, but they're just trying to stay calm, stay controlled, and make sure when it's time to pull the trigger and burn a match, you go.
And just to confirm our athletes, Anne is paddling for Samoa, Marguerite is paddling for Tahiti. And the other athletes in this race, we have 22 countries represented. From Brazil, we have Rie Nagasako. From Niue, we have Shanti Pospisil. From Australia, we have Sharon Jason. From USA, we have Lynn Milos. 1 minute, we have Paul is ready to go. We will cross live to Paul. And from New Zealand, we have Hedia Rolliston. In Great Britain, we have Helen Rudd. Fiji, Joanne Reha. Tonga, Serafino. Hawaii, Kirsten Foster. Germany, Laura Burse. New Caledonia, Rosmel Teri'i. Peru, Esvenia Landodo Urbina. Tahiti, Marguerite Noho Te Mayana. Cook Islands, Rachel Matapuku Walker. France, Alexandra Vermorel. Argentina, Silvana Carcetti. And Canada, Leanne Stanley. Not a cloud in the sky. We started this day grey, overcast with rain. Not a cloud in the sky. Samoa of all weather. And possibly this is first and second, not too sure. We are currently looking for positions for the rest of the pack. We know that at the top of the pack we have Anne and Marguerite. And we will get you some positions on the other paddlers as soon as we see them. And that looks like a one bump lead. Marguerite could catch her up with one nice swell. And last time Marguerite took the inside line and she finished in front of Anne at the last buoy down there on the beach. Let's see what happens this time. They have to go through these two yellow buoys in front and they go right down into the beach. And you can see Anne just cruising there, resting on a swell. And Marguerite out here looking for something to catch. It is interesting to see where the little water currents move in the harbour. It will have an impact on this race. But it looks like Anne has surged ahead here to a 2 or 3 boat length lead, and she is on a nice bump. This could be a good little mental victory for her. You never know. Marguerite could just be pacing herself. Well done to both these athletes. And there is definitely stuff to catch there. This is our third and fourth position. Just waiting to see that number. It looks like a 1. Brazil. We have a feeling this is Brazil. Rie Nagasako. That number is difficult to see. We apologize if it is not Brazil. Very strong strokes here. And that is definitely number 12, Kirsten Foster from Hawaii. Battle for third and fourth. They are not far behind those first two. They are definitely in touch. Ooh, I would say maybe 3. If they manage to connect 3 bumps, they could be right in the mix there. And they both look very strong. These ladies look really impressive. Very strong, smooth, calm. Kirsten Foster, well done. Hope you enjoy sharing these images with your family back in Hawaii. And as we come up here to our paddler from Brazil, sorry, there is some tape around that number. It could be 17 as we don't have a 17 number in this race. We're working. We'll figure out what that number is eventually. Thank you for your patience.
We just got an update here. Big shout out to one of the supporters here. We have Laura Bezier, and 3 there from Germany. Definitely, as we've seen in those images, that 3 and 4, those ladies are tracking and working hard to bridge the gap back up to here. Just making sure, this is Annie Cairns for Samoa, taking slightly wider line and trying to sweep into that buoy rather than tracking tight on it, and just trying to run that water, use everything that's happening in the water. And we come back now. We're Hawaii.
So just confirming our positions here. First is Ann Cairns from Samoa. Second is Marguerite Noho from Tahiti. Third is Laura Berzer from Germany. Well done, Germany. This is your first podium placement so far. And fourth is Kirsten Foster from Hawaii. Big congratulations to our German paddler. Well done traveling so far and competing here in Apia. We wish you all the best. And boy, she is looking strong. And we believe this is fifth. Canoe number 14 from New Caledonia, Rosemel. Excellent. There are 22 competitors in this race, so to come in the top 5 is exceptional. Top paddlers in the world here from all over. And there is someone far on the inside in the yellow. That might be Shanti Pospisil. That is red from Chile. Fernanda. Well done, Fernanda. And then, sorry, it could be Leanne Stanley as well from Canada. Thank you. We're trying. Thank you, everybody, for your feedback. We really appreciate it. We just want to offer maximum respect, obviously, to all these athletes and their families watching. Please do update us if we pronounce names incorrectly. We are trying our best. Thank you. Hidia Rolliston from New Zealand. Ria Nagasako from Brazil. Close race here. And that is Ann Cairns from Samoa on the far side. Races within races. I think this inside line is a little bit faster as we've seen them come down. I feel like, well, maybe. Actually, no, Anne was on the outside that last one and she finished a little bit in front. Maybe it's more about the swell that they catch inside this harbour. Any thoughts, Carl?
I guess it's always quite hard to gauge from here in the commentary booth. We're seeing what you're seeing, but it's those moments in the race where you make a call, you feel something or you see something coming, and you might lay it down, and then the next time you come around, you find a sweet spot. So the next time you come back, you try to go it again. Here we see one of our competitors bailing. Just identifying, we've got Helen Rudd here from Great Britain. It's a real difficult choice to make when you've got water in your VAR and you got to trade that time to take the water out of there compared to actually having to carry that water, extra weight, extra friction and inertia to overcome. But it's definitely worth it to lighten the boat there. And here we have our French paddler looking very fluid, just reaching out. Alexandra Vermorel. And yeah, big shout out to the feedback that we're getting too, helping with pronunciation. Like, we're all growing here and learning about culture. So big shout out to Alexandra, looking real fluid. Here's our bulla to our Fijian paddler here, Joanne Leha. Again, feedback more than welcome. We wanna pay respect to these ladies and make sure that we're giving proper shout outs and props. I'm just gonna identify, I'm pretty sure that's Leanne Stanley there, just stretching out. Sometimes you find that nice little bit of channel water where the boat just starts to run and try to feel your way. Dialing back for Fiji and panning out. I'm gonna let you guys see it and call it, but yeah, keep giving us feedback, man. It's and we have Australia here coming in the scene. Sarah Jason, looking strong, like really finding that water and just leaning on it. So moments like this in the race, you're trying to choose your time when you reach for that drinks pack and try to get some fluid on, keep it going, and keep stretching out, keep breathing. She's still a long way to go. Here we have Serafino from Tonga. You just see that nose starting to drop into the bump. She's stretching through it, trying to make it work. Go Sarah. Everybody's seen it from Tonga. Chuck some love, chuck some support towards Sarah.
And Lynn Milos from USA. Looking solid, Lynn. Beautiful day here. Stunning. And I think we are returning to the front of the race. We have quite a lineup of paddlers out here. Our reporter Paul is at the top buoy marker, we think. And 1, 2, 3, 4. This is our 5th and 6th place. So 6th is Leanne Stanley here, just coming out of the harbour for her 3rd lap. I'm just having a little moment of anticipation here as our drone pilot decided to get creative on the shipping boat. Uso, if you can hear me, that's my drone. Please be careful. Beautiful day here. We're just reversing through the course to pick up all our competitors. And this is the bottom of the turning point. They're on their third lap. They probably got about, is this their third lap? Or they're on their fourth lap now? On their third lap. It's our paddler from Australia, Sarah Jason. And Anne has quite a lead here on Marguerite. And you can see the canoe carving up those swells. Anne has pulled ahead quite a bit in this race. The third lap. Slow, strong and controlled as she turns this red marker. And here we have, that was Hedia Rolliston. And on the far side there, it looked like one. Was that Ria Nagasako from Brazil? They've been battling all the way down, so this is a close battle with them. And at the top marker, we have a report that Anne has turned and Marguerite in 2. And that looks like Hawaii now in 3, so there's been a change between 3 and 4. And we are just looking at some images of our paddler from France here, Alexandre Vermorel. Bonjour. Ça va? And canoe 8, Helen Rudd from Great Britain. So this field has spread out a little bit here. Carl, I've got an athletic question for you on your prep for this race. How long do you think it takes an athlete to be able to get to the top podium? How many years of training? How many cycles of programs? Is it something you can just do with one block of 8 weeks? Or do you think it takes a lot longer? What's your thoughts?
I guess comes back to that sort of old adage of nature and nurture, and comes down to your environment, the people that you've got in it. What we're seeing here as individuals out on the course, but behind this, everybody got a team, your family, your coach, and everybody got a different blueprint, what works for their body and works in around family and things like that. And we lay the physical base down, but then we also have to apply the technical aspect of VAR, which makes it such a beautiful sport when you add in the navigation aspect of these ladies out here at the moment. They're not just looking straight ahead, they're looking left and right, trying to feel how their waka is riding and trying to make the most and work in connection with the ocean here. So that sort of knowledge comes from time spent, time served. So feeling the water is one thing, but being able to read the water and work the water is a real art form. It's like recently in a ski race, I got to watch my brother Kingy just sail away from me on a bump, and those moments when you're in a race, when you're in the red and your brother just cruises past you, chucking the chaka at you, that's the good time. But yeah, definitely, I know I can only speak, I suppose, from experience. That it takes a long time to build that physical knowledge of what works for your body, but the reading of the ocean and watching these ladies apply and make the most of what's out there. I mean, huge props. I know Annie, she's always it's a love-hate relationship, and at the moment today, I think she's feeling the love. So, and all the ladies out there trying to make the best of it. But long, long-winded reply here, King. It's one of those things. It's the people around you. So for Annie, I guess I speak from experience. It's Coach Gav, and then all the wahine back in New Zealand and worldwide that she connected with, that sheer knowledge and the love for our sport. That's what builds into you as you grow forward. It's time served, I suppose, is the short answer to that question.
Thank you very much, brother. This may be the first gold medal for Samoa at the World Championships. So Anne has represented Samoa also in the kayak, and I believe you went to Tokyo to support the Samoan team. So you've also gone as a chaperone, a chef de mission, a coach, assistant coach, supporting the Samoan athletes. And we have many of them here today. Rudolph Birking-Williams, Tuva'a as well. So representing Samoa in kayak on the world stage in the Olympics. So what kind of base would that give you? Would it give an athlete like Anne coming from kayak and then code switching, I guess, into va'a?
I guess the best way to add a little bit of colour to Annie's picture is within a week she maybe paddle K1, which is the Olympic discipline. Some of you would be aware of a hammer called Lisa Carrington from New Zealand that dominates there. So Annie mix her week up with some K1 on the flat, some river paddling where she in multi-sport boat bouncing around, missing rocks, and then OC1 and then V1 as well. So the physical conditioning, the lungs, the heart, the body, the transference is definitely there from paddling the kayak. It's just that extra layer that out there at the moment you'll see changes in the ladies' stroke rate when it's time to put power on, and when you put that power on can be the difference between catching a ride or sliding off the back of it. So yeah, definitely for Annie, there's a big base there where time spent on flat water building that conditioning in.
We were just hoping to cross the pool there. The messages didn't quite get through. We're trying to give you an update. We did see a change in position. Kirsten Foster had moved into third and she was hunting down second. I'd like to thank some of our viewers for, particular Pan Murphy, for sharing the information about Kirsten Foster. She's from Kauai and the current Molokai Solo world champion. Well done. It's amazing effort to come here from surfing OC1 and then to represent in the V1. Stay tuned for her performance on this last lap. We are finishing the third for the top ladies, and the rest of the pack is midway heading out, and they will do one more 4-kilometer lap before we are able to formally announce the world champion. We have some images here of Kirsten Foster. She's made a strong third lap and she's looking very strong here. Kirsten Foster is the Molokai solo world champion. Ann Cairns was just in front of her, so Kirsten will have a big engine on here. That's a 5-hour race. So 16 kilometers is probably a warm-up paddle for her, but still to be respected because it's high intensity and you're in that red zone. We will give you an update as soon as we can spot where Marguerite is. And here we have Marguerite. We're just trying to see the relative positions between first, second, and third. Kirsten Foster was looking very strong there. So Kirsten Foster has passed. We have a change in positions. We have Ann Cairns first, Hawaii second, and Tahiti third. And Kirsten Foster is looking dangerous. Very strong. We still have about 5 kilometers to go. What's your thoughts, Carl?
Do you really want to know my thoughts, Kingy? I guess this, what I'm seeing here at the moment is, yeah, Kirsten probably playing the long game. Like it's always a roll of the dice when you think strategy in the race, and that maybe she in that first couple of laps just was measuring, getting a feel for the conditions, and then you get into the back half of the race. People with big engine like my man Kingy here, he hunt you down and he'll eat you up at the tail end of it. So yeah, what Annie be looking at the moment is trying to just stay real controlled in her boat and making sure that she's nailing what she's nailing, because you can't control what anyone else is doing out on the water there. So seeing real good connection. But yeah, definitely Kirsten from Hawaii, Kirsten Foster, closing that gap. She's tracking her way down through the field. So yeah, and just going back to reference before, Kingy was talking about maybe first medal. I know last year World Sprints in London, and he picked up first medal for Samoa and V1, and that was an emotional day, man. It's special to come back to your connection where home is. Big shout out to Koko back home in Palmerston North. I'm sure that the screen's getting screamed at the moment. But yeah, we can see Kirsten just really connecting at the moment, running the boat really nicely, stretching out. It looks fluid, but I can tell you at the moment she's looking strong. So we keep you informed. We see what you see.
And the coach here, my mate Carl, he's pretending to be very calm and collected, but as soon as the microphone's off, get those fluids in, girl, is what I hear, and his eyes are peeled on the screen. We're here as families, we're here as partners, we're here as grandchildren, grandparents, the whole spread. Family sport, waka ama. Where else can you race with your grandparents in the same canoe at a world championship race? And also I'd like to acknowledge our adaptive paddlers and para-athletes who put in amazing efforts. Look at Kirsten Foster's drink system here. On the back, she would have finely tuned this for the Molokai Hoi and monitored her fluid intake and her energy expenditure very carefully for the 16-kilometer race. And I think that's roughly 10 and a half miles. So 10-mile paddle, 10-mile race. This is going to be a very exciting finish. and looking very strong here, surfing these little bumps all the way in. We have one more lap to go. 4 kilometers to go. Beautiful day. Stunning. Go Team Samoa, Fa'amalosi. And I'm sure the people in Kauai are excited right now for Kirsten. Aloha, maika iloa, Kirsten. Hele vale, hele vale. And we're looking at our paddler from Germany. Also looking very strong. It'll be interesting to see the power output in this last 4 kilometers. Started long and strong, but the tank does get depleted. And if you pushed a little hard, like you said, you burned the match a little early. You're certainly feeling it now. And as you can see, this hunting going on, and Carl mentioned that before, there's nothing worse than being in the front and feeling hunted. And you can see this body language. Look at this body language from Kirsten Foster. That is definitely an uprate. She is doing whatever she can to get there. She will be burning the matches, and we will see what happens. We know Anne has been cruising, certainly that last leg. We will see what happens when these athletes, if they get together. I'm figuring there's less wind in by those large boats. Staying out in the middle, you may get a little bit more side wind. If you can tuck into that smooth bit by the container, you may get a little bit of an advantage. Kirsten Foster looking very strong. Wonderful views here from Apia Harbour. Maybe there's some swell to ride inside that boat. Kirsten Foster is definitely making a big play here for first. And looking very strong. We still have the upwind and the surf. This race is not over, but we do have a change in positions. Samoa in first, Hawaii in second, and we believe Tahiti in third, with Germany in fourth.
The shot here has given us that real little bit of insight into what these ladies maybe are storing up knowledge-wise from time out on the course, and even within the race here, Kirsten just seeming to be in some real nice water. Sometimes the tide turn and you pick up current and flow. So definitely tracking on Annie. So now we get into that real interesting situation where Kirsten maybe she going at it, tracking on Annie, and then what happens next is when we get into that real interesting moment. Races within races.
Have a feeling Anne may have caught a glimpse of Kirsten Foster. She's certainly picked up the pace now and looking super strong in this headwind. Great battle unfolding here for the first place between Annie Cairns from Samoa and Kirsten Foster of Kauai, Hawaii. Anne Cairns has pretty much held the lead since the second lap. Kirsten Foster made an excellent paddle inside the harbour. They're both taking slightly different lines to this red marker. Stay tuned as this race unfolds. And we have another battle within a battle here. Fiji with either Australia or Niue. And our paddler from Fiji is Joanne Raiha. And if it's Australia, it's Sarah Jason. And they are coming down on their third lap. That is Sarah Jason from Australia. She had that big, long, powerful stroke, really laying the watts down. nail biting. Kirsten Foster and Cairns from Samoa. And in first, Kirsten Foster in second. Kirsten has come all the way back from, I want to say, fourth place. She's passed Germany in third and Marguerite from Tahiti to challenge for first, and was battling with Marguerite and then led from the second lap. And we are now almost 13 Ks into this race. There's probably 3 kilometers left. And it's going to be an all-out brawl. There's going to be a little bit of surf, and then that last approach to those buoys is going to be pretty painful and pretty red zone. So we will see what happens with these two exceptional athletes. Give them your praise. First or second, they are both champions. Thank you, Eleanor. Really appreciate your feedback. So it's Joanne Araya from Fiji. Is that gap closing? We will see on the surf lick.
So now we're coming into those key moments within the race. It's trying to read that bump as it's coming on that pole and pivot that wire and try to dial for that first run. It's a real game changer when you turn that post, and if you can dial that first bump. So we're going to see here ladies start to roll the dice on when they're going to burn their matches to really go at it. So Kirsten taking the wide line, trying to sweep round. Annie's still tracking, but waiting for that bump just to turn. So we just keep watching. So now that's that real important moment. We're waiting for that nose just to pop and pivot the va'a. And first lady to drop into that first bump. If you're out there you're on the side of the course, get screaming. These ladies can still hear you.
That wide turn there. Approaching wide. Kirsten Foster. She got it around and went a little bit wider, and she's lining herself up for a big swell. They do have to go to the yellow marker. Kirsten Foster and Ann Cairns neck to neck. Ihu kita ihu. Dogfight here. We're going to try cross the pole. Wow, what a battle. Neck to neck here. Kirsten Foster and Cairns. This is for first place in the Master Women's 40 V1 16 kilometers World Distance Championships. We have about 3 kilometers left. Relaxing. Here comes Kirsten. Her nose is dropping. Oh, and might have a little bit of a break. Awesome racing. We know both the fans from both countries will be cheering so loudly. Carl's not looking so relaxed here now, everybody. He's looking pretty tense. I don't blame you, brother. This is a very close race. I couldn't agree with you more on those comments around the boy. You know, it was whoever turned and got that little advantage on the bump, put you in front. And has surfed this leg very, very well. And we will see what happens on this buoy. they're kind of lined up on this marker the same way they were at the red marker. Anne was on the inside and Kirsten went a little bit wider. Surely they're thinking about that approach coming in here. Anne has the advantage here, I guess, of closing out options for Kirsten. And then Kirsten can wait and spot an opportunity. If Anne's nose tends to head out right a little too much, she can possibly sneak inside on the right. Cat and mouse. Here we go. And it's a replica of what happened on the red marker. Kirsten went wide and she's coming close. Neck to neck again. That is a half a bump lead right there. This race is not over. They are going neck to neck. Beautiful paddling from both these ladies. World champions, multiple sports, multiple races. The Molokai Solo World Champion, Olympic kayaker, World Sprint Champion. So close. Wonderful paddling, ladies. Here we go.
So yeah, it's going to be moments within moments here. We both see the ladies trading. So Kirsten definitely inside line, wide sweeping turn. But here we see trading. Annie just lining up. Kirsten poking just to bring that nose round, and Annie running through. So we hear the people outside screaming. It's going to be trading from here, blow on blow, all the way to the end. So ladies going at it. This is awesome. I'm gonna step out and go and scream myself dry. So big aloha if you're Samoan. I'm gonna pull that card right now. Get down there and scream.
And here we go. There's about 1 kilometer left in this race. Carl has officially left the building. Nail-biting finish here. Two impressive athletes. Kirsten Foster and Cairns. Samoa and Hawaii in the Master Woman 40s. We are crossing back to third. Germany is now third. Laura from Germany, well done. That puts Margaret from Tahiti in fourth. So we have a change here. Third place is Germany. The first place could be Samoa or Hawaii. That is a nail-biting finish. We will get back to that, but there has been an update in third. And they have switched positions. Last time Anne was on the inside and Kirsten was on the outside. They have switched, and now Anne is on the outside and Kirsten is closer to the reef. Anne is on closer to the inside of the harbour. We do not have long left in this race. We're just trying to see which angle here has the best option for us to illustrate the length from the finish. From this perspective, it looked like Anne has a 1 boat length lead. Kirsten Foster is on the inside. She is absolutely pushing hard, looking for a swell. And yes, it looks like there's been a further change. Leanne Stanley has moved into fourth, my apologies. So the positions are, we have Anne Cairns 1 in first, Kirsten Foster from Kauai, Hawaii in second, Laura from Germany in third, and Leanne Stanley from Canada in fourth. What a fantastic battle for this first place. We saw Kirsten Foster take the lead a couple of times in the last 10 minutes, but Anne has managed to surge ahead. What a race. Props to both of these ladies. Amazing paddling and amazing shots here from our drone pilot, as we can see the effort and the concentration going in by both of these. Anne looks focused on the finish. Kirsten is still there. She's steering her canoe around and getting ready for a little push. Do not count it out yet. Beautiful paddling here. Way to go, Kirsten. And way to go, Annie. Very, very close race. We think we are within 30 seconds. Super exciting finish. Kirsten Foster has been hunting Anne Cairns. She took the lead twice. There is 100 meters to go. These ladies are deep in the red zone. The locals here have blasting the sounds. The cheering is going off. They're very, very happy. This could be Samoa's first gold medal at this Games. Championships, the World Championships, Master Woman 40s. Anne Cairns from Samoa. Valiant effort from Kirsten Foster with withering bursts. Within the last 15 minutes, Kirsten Foster took the lead twice and responded. A battle of champions, world sprint champions, Molokai solo champions from Samoa and Hawaii, but it will be Anne Cairns from Samoa. Who will win this? Master Women's 40, Fa'amalosi. Big celebrations for Annie Cairns. And my mate here in the booth, Carl Barnes, partner of Anne, will be so happy. There we go. Well done. And huge props to Kirsten Foster from Kauai, Hawaii. Well done, Anne. What a race. Mega respect for both of these athletes. Amazing. Kirsten Foster trying a different line there at the finish, doing whatever she could to win. Amazing race. I'd be very happy with silver. These ladies rock. Nice work. Phew. Well done. Fabulous performance. Saw the challenge, stood up, met the challenge, paddled deep, stayed calm, composed and focused in this all conditions race. Congratulations, Ann Cairns from Samoa. And yes, Annie, you are the bomb. And somewhere on that bank is your partner, Carl Barnes, super happy as well. Well done. And Jay Schuster there, our race director, congratulating it. First medal. Well done. Definitely congratulations to all these competitors. Let's also show maximum applause for Laura from Germany, coming in third. Leanne Stanley from Canada, and Margaret from Tahiti, who is a legend and a paddler. And to all the 22 athletes in this race, congratulations. Congrats to all the girls. There is only one champion, and today that is Ann Cairns from Samoa. We are watching finishing here. Leanne Stanley from Canada. We're waiting to see the final positions for third. We heard that Leanne Stanley might be in third, which is the bronze medal. I need to switch over. Beautiful words there from Kirsten Foster. Second, and so humble, looking for the lines to follow Annie. We will try and get an interview with our champion as well. And big respect as well to all the people in Maui who are affected by the fires, particularly those in Lahaina and those that have lost their house. There have been many mentions at this event to acknowledge our Pacific connections and our Polynesian connections, and to those in Maui. Well done. Here we can see Paul lining up for an interview with Anne. Fingers crossed. We want to get the reactions from our new world long distance champion and the first gold medal for Samoa. Big ups to Ann Cairns. We're just trying to get this. Here we go. Ai, whawhatai lavas. Samoa, mo Samoa. Beautiful words there from Anne. And for those that didn't pick it up online, she is very, very happy, very proud to represent Samoa. Mentioned all the support, in particular from Jay Schuster and the clubs in Samoa and all of those on her journey. And very honored to be here today. Thank you. What a beautiful champion and a beautiful race there. Big props to all of our competitors in this Master Women's 40 race. Just a little shout out to our supporters from Niue. There's your paddler there, Shanti Pospisil. Like to acknowledge all the people online supporting Shanti. We saw your comments come through and you should be very proud of her, and we should be proud of all of these ladies in this fantastic race today. That was it, the Master Women's 40. Thank you very much for tuning in. We will be back for our next race in a little bit. Mahalo.